Hey guys, Mekz here and welcome back to another video on Hypixel Skyblock. Today we have an epic episode. Before we get into it, I just want to say a few things. We're currently doing a giveaway for a leaping sword and a max ender set. So if you guys want to enter, make sure to go check out the link down below in the description. We are currently on the grind for 11k subscribers. So if you guys haven't subscribed already and you're enjoying the content, make sure to go down below and smash that sub button because we are going to be uploading every single day. So hopefully you guys are all excited for that. Today in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to get all the talismans on Hypixel Skyblock. So hopefully you guys are excited. And basically this will include all the artifacts and all the rings that you can get, because you can put them in your talisman bag as well. I'll have timestamps in the description as I'll be going through each collection and showing you guys how to obtain every single talisman in the game. So yeah, if you guys are excited, make sure to leave a like down below. And without further ado, let's get into the video. So guys, we're going to be starting off with the farming collection, and we're pretty much going to be making our way through every single collection and show you guys how to get every single talisman. So the first talisman that we are going to be talking about is the farming talisman, and the way you actually unlock this is by breaking 500 wheat, which is actually pretty easy. The buff of this talisman increases your speed by 10% while held in the farm, the barn, and mushroom desert. So that's actually pretty easy, and the way you craft this is pretty much you need 4 seeds and you need to have 5 stacks of hay bale. So you guys can actually see, to get yourself a hay bale you need 9 wheat. So that's actually pretty easy. The next talisman that we're going to be talking about is the vaccine talisman, and you guys need to break 500 potatoes to unlock this talisman. If we go over here and take a look at the buff, as you guys can see, it provides immunity to poison damage when held. And the way you guys actually craft this is you guys need 9 poisonous potatoes. So the way you guys can get the poisonous potatoes is by breaking all of these potatoes over here, and it is a rare drop. So the next talisman we have here is called the speed talisman, and the way you guys actually unlock this is by breaking 250 sugarcane. As you can see, it gives +3 speed when held, so that's actually pretty good. If we click on the recipe, as you guys can see, you need 108 sugarcane. If you guys don't have a sugarcane farm, I would definitely go over to the mushroom desert because there's a ton of sugarcane, and I don't think it will take you too long to unlock the speed talisman as well. So the next talisman we have here is the feather talisman, and you guys need to have feather 4 collection unlocked. The buff of this talisman is that you can fall an extra 5 blocks without taking damage. The items required to make this talisman is that you guys need 108 feathers, and the way you guys can get feathers is by killing the little chickens over here. Over here we have the feather ring, which is essentially an upgraded version of the feather talisman. You guys need to have feather 7 unlocked. If you look at the buff of this talisman, pretty much you can fall an extra 7 blocks without taking any damage, and it also reduces full damage by 5%. The way you guys can craft this is you need to have a feather talisman, and you also need to have enchanted feathers. The next talisman that we're going to be talking about here is the feather artifact, and this is an upgraded version of the feather ring. To unlock the feather artifact, you need to have the collection feather 9. The buff of this talisman is that you can fall an extra 10 blocks without taking any damage, and it also reduces full damage by 15%. To craft the feather artifact, you guys need a feather ring, and you also need to have 128 enchanted feathers. So the next talisman that we're going to be taking a look at here is the potion affinity talisman. And as you guys can see, the collection that you need to have unlocked is Neverwalk 3. If we look at the buff of this talisman, as you guys can see, it increases the duration of any consumed potion by 10% when held in your inventory. The way you craft the potion affinity talisman is by having 2 stacks of Neverwort and a chest in the middle, and that is how you guys can get your hands on the potion affinity talisman. The way you guys can get Neverwort is by going over here to the Blaze Fortress, and you want to go to these little patches of Neverworts. So as you guys can see, there's a ton of Neverworts here, and all you want to do is just mine it up. So that's how you guys can get a ton of Neverworts. There's an upgraded version of the Potion Affinity Talisman, which is the Potion Affinity Ring. And as you guys can see here, you need to have the collection of Neverwort 7 unlocked. And pretty much the buff of this talisman is that it increases the duration of any consumed potion by 25% when held in your inventory. And the way you guys can craft this is that you need 8 enchanted netherwort, and you need to have also the potion affinity talisman, which is easy to make. The next talisman that we're going to be moving on to is the potion affinity artifact, and this is actually the upgraded version of the potion affinity ring. As you guys can see, you need to have the collection netherwort 9 unlocked. And if you look at the buff of this talisman, it says here increases the duration of any consumed potion by 50% when held in your inventory. The way you guys craft the potion affinity artifact is by having a potion affinity ring in the middle and then having 4 stacks of enchanted netherwort around it. So that's how you guys can make yourself the potion affinity artifact. The next talisman we have here is called the night vision charm. As you can see here, we need to have the collection mushroom 7 unlocked. And then pretty much the buff of this talisman is that it grants night vision 1 while this item is in your inventory or talisman bag. The way you craft this talisman is that you guys need to have 4 enchanted brown mushroom and 4 enchanted red mushroom. So it's actually pretty easy to make all 4 red mushrooms and all 4 brown mushrooms. You need to have 640 red mushrooms and 640 brown mushrooms. If you guys are wondering in how you can get mushrooms, you can just come over here to the mushroom desert, and there's a ton of mushrooms here for you to mine. The next talisman we have here is the farmer's orb, and you guys need to have the collection pumpkin 6 unlocked. And if you go over here and take a look at the buff, it increases the regrowth rate of the nearby crops on public islands, regrowing an extra crop every 3 seconds. The way you guys can craft the farmer's orb is by getting 8 enchanted pumpkin surrounding a piece of enchanted glowstone, just like this. So if you guys want to get your hands on some pumpkins, I would say come over here to the barn. There's a ton of pumpkins over here, and you could actually start making your own pumpkin farm in order to obviously get enough enchanted pumpkins for the farmer's orb. But yeah, that's just a little tip. Moving over to the next talisman, we have the piggy bank, and the collection that you need to have unlocked for this is raw pork chop 5. And if you take a look at the buff, as you guys can see, right click to make a deposit in your bank account. So this is actually pretty useful to have. So to craft the piggy bank, you guys need to have a chest in the middle and to have 25 enchanted pork around it, just like this. So if you guys don't have any pig minions, I would definitely come over here to the barn, because there's actually a couple of mobs that spawn here, like the pig. I would definitely say that you should make your own pig minion. I would definitely say farm the pigs over here for a while until you have enough for a pig minion, and then set up a pig minion on your island, and then obviously you can just have that going. Or if you're like super rich and you have money, you can just buy the enchanted pork of AH. The next talisman we have here is called the Hale String, and you guys need to have the collection cobblestone 8 unlocked. And if you go over here to the haste ring, the buff of this item is that it gives haste 1 for 15 seconds when breaking any block. And if we check out the recipe over here, as you guys can see, we need 256 enchanted cobblestone, which is actually pretty easy to get if you have a cobblestone generator. If you guys don't have a cobblestone generator, I would definitely come over here to the gold mine with a gold pickaxe, and pretty much you can mine cobblestone like this. And I would say drink a haste 3 potion, because you know, obviously that way you can break the cobblestone a lot faster. It's actually pretty fast, and I think that you can get the haste ring in probably like an hour or so. It shouldn't really take too long for you guys to get. The next talisman we have here is the talisman of coins, and the collection that you need to have unlocked is Emerald 2. The buff of this talisman is that coins start appearing around you occasionally on public islands. The way you craft the talismans or coins is pretty easy. You need to have 5 gold and 20 emeralds. The next talisman that we're going to be moving on to is the magnetic talisman. As you guys can see, the collection they need to have unlocked is Emerald 3, And if we take a look at the buff of this talisman, it increases the item pickup range by 3 times. So it's actually pretty good. If you take a look at how you guys can craft the magnetic talisman, it's actually pretty easy. To craft the magnetic talisman, you guys need 128 emeralds and you also need 32 redstone in the middle. So if you guys want to get emeralds, you want to make your way over to the slime hill, and this is where you are able to mine a ton of emeralds. The next talisman we have here is called the experience artifact. And the collection that you need to have unlocked for this is Lapis Lazuli 9. And if you take a look at the buff over here, increases the enchanting experience you gain by 25% while this item is in your inventory. The way you guys craft this talisman is by getting 9 enchanted lapis blocks, which are pretty easy to make because all you need is enchanted lapis lazuli. And to make 1 enchanted lapis lazuli, you need all of this. So if you are wondering on how you can get lapis, you can come over here to the deep caverns, and if you make your way around here and all the way over to this little dip, pretty much you guys can get access to the lapis quarry, and this is where you guys can mine a ton of lapis. If you guys are trying to go for the experience artifact, I would definitely just mine here and, you know, obviously make a couple of minions, set them up on my island, you know, obviously put fuel in them, and then you should be on your way to getting the experience artifact. But also mining does help a ton as well because you are able to unlock it a lot faster. The next talisman we have here is called the gravity talisman, and the collection they need unlocked for this is obsidian 3. The gravity talisman gives between 1 and 10 strength and defense the closer you are to the center of an island. The way you guys craft the gravity talisman is that you guys need 144 obsidian. So pretty much if you want to get like a ton of obsidian, I would definitely come over here to the end and mine up this obsidian over here. Or if you guys have like a really good sword, I'll definitely go down to the dragon's nest, and pretty much I would target the obsidian defenders because they do drop quite a bit of obsidian as well. The next talisman we have here is the night crystal, and the collection we need to have unlocked for this is Nether Quartz 7. The buff of this talisman increases your strength and defense by 5 during the night. The way you guys can craft a night crystal is by having 1 enchanted quartz block in the middle, and you guys need to have enchanted quartz on the corners. The next talisman is called the day crystal, and you unlock it at Nether Quartz 8. The day crystal increases your strength and defense by 5 during the day. The way you craft the day crystal is kind of different to the way you craft the night crystal. So to craft the day crystal, you want to have the quartz block in the middle. If you want to get quartz really fast, I would definitely come over here to like a lobby with like no people and just mine all the quartz that I see, because obviously that way I can make a minion on my island. I can also level up the minions, so obviously more quartz spawn, and then soon I won't have to be at the mine anymore. I'll just have to be on my island just constantly mining the nether quartz, and I honestly feel like it's easier that way because you don't have to compete with people that are in the mines. You want to have the enchanted quartz on each side of the block. The next talisman we have here is the fire talisman. The collection that you guys need to have unlocked is Blaze Rod 5. The buff of this talisman is that it provides immunity to fire while held in your inventory. As you guys can see, you need to have 9 enchanted blaze powder to craft this. If you're wondering on how you guys can get blaze rods, I'll go over here to the blazing fortress and climb these stairs and just pretty much go all the way to the top, because over here you guys can see that we have a couple of blazes. I would definitely say get enough blaze rods until you can make a minion and just make multiple of them. The next talisman we have here is the lava talisman. The collection that you need to have unlocked for this is Magma Cream 7. If we take a look at the buff over here, the lava talisman provides immunity to lava while held in your inventory. The way you guys craft the lava talisman is by having 9 enchanted magma creams, which are pretty easy to make, as you guys can see. Now, to get a lot of magma creams, I would say bring like a bow and a bunch of arrows and just shoot all of the magma cubes that you see here, because I honestly feel like this is like one of the fastest ways to get magma creams. There's probably even a faster way than this, but this is pretty efficient if you guys don't already know. The way you guys can get a bat talisman is actually by crafting yourself a roofed forest island, and pretty much what you guys have to do is wait for the bat to spawn. The bat talisman is a 1% drop rate from the bats, so you're gonna have to wait a really long time. The next talisman we have over here is the wood affinity talisman. The way you guys can unlock this is by having the collection Oakwood 8 unlocked. The wood affinity talisman increases your speed by 10% while held in the forest, graveyard and wilderness. The way you guys craft the wood affinity talisman is by having 8 oak leaves surrounded by enchanted oak wood, which is pretty easy to make, as you guys can see. Next talisman we have over here is the healing talisman, and the collection that you need to have this unlocked is lily pad 3. If you guys want to get a ton of oak wood, I'll definitely come over here to this little forest. As you guys can see, there is a ton of wood, and I'll definitely drink up a haste 3 potion, because obviously haste 3 with a gold axe is insanely overpowered. And yeah, pretty much you can just stay here and mine up all of the wood in literally seconds. If we look at the buff of this talisman, as you guys can see, it increases healing by 5%. The way you guys get the healing talisman is by having 144 lily pads, just like this. The next talisman we have over here is the upgraded version of the healing talisman, and this is called the healing ring. You guys need to have the collection Lilypad 8 unlocked, and if we take a look at the buff, as you guys can see, increases healing by 10%. So to craft the healing ring, you guys need to have a healing talisman, and then you also need to have 4 enchanted lily pad around it, just like this. Next talisman we have here is the bait ring, and the way to have this unlocked is by having the collection Inksact 8. And if you go over here to check out the buff, as you guys can see, there's a 5% chance not to consume bait. To craft the bait ring, you guys need to have 288 enchanted ink sacks, which is a lot. The next talisman we have over here is the sea creature talisman, and to unlock this, you need to have the collection of sponge 4. So if you look at the buff of this talisman, we take 5% less damage from the sea creatures. The way you craft the sea creature talisman is by having 16 sponges placed like this in a crafting table. The next talisman we have over here is an upgraded version of the sea creature talisman, and the way you guys can get this is by unlocking the collection sponge 6. If you look at the buff over here, as you guys can see, the sea creature ring take 10% less damage from sea creatures. To craft this sea creature ring, you guys need 6 sponge, 2 enchanted sponge and 1 sea creature talisman. The next talisman we have over here is the sea creature artifact, and the way you guys can unlock this is by having the collection sponge 8. The buff of this talisman is that you can take 15% less damage from sea creatures. The way you guys craft the sea creature artifact is by having a sea creature ring in the middle, and you want to have a stack of enchanted sponge around it, just like this. The fastest way that I know to get fishing talismans is by setting up fishing minions on your island, and it doesn't even take up too much to make a fishing minion. It doesn't really take too many resources. Let's actually go check it out and see what you need for a fishing minion. So as you guys can see, you need a stack of raw fish to make yourself 1 fishing minion, and that is not even a lot. That is like very easy to get. But yeah, once you set up a couple of fishing minions, you should be on your way to be getting all of the fishing talismans. There are also talismans which you guys can buy from the adventure shop. Over here we have around 6 talismans which you guys can buy. The first talisman we have is the zombie talisman. That reduces the damage taken from zombies by 5%, and it costs around 500 coins, so it's very cheap to get in the beginning. Over here, we have the skeleton talisman, and this reduces the damage taken from skeletons by 5%, and this is also 500 coins. The village affinity talisman increases your speed by 10% while held in the village, and this actually costs around 2,500 coins. Moving on to the next talisman. The Mine Affinity Talisman increases your speed by 10% while held in the coal mine, the gold mine, the deep caverns, and so on and so forth. And this actually costs around 2,500 as well, so it's very cheap. Moving on to the next talisman, we have the Intimidation Talisman, and it says here, level 1 monsters will not target you anymore, and this actually costs 10,000 coins. Moving on to the next talisman, we have the Scavenger Talisman, and it says here, monsters drop coins when killed. So this is also 10,000 coins. The last talisman that you need is called the Pig's Foot, and the way you guys get the Pig's Foot is by making your way over to the end. And if you go over here up the stairs and make our way over to this guy called Goober, he will actually give you a little quest to complete. Once you guys complete the race in under 48 seconds, you will be rewarded with the Pig's Foot. Hopefully this video helped you out a ton. If you guys want to see more videos like this, make sure to leave a like and also subscribe to the channel. If there's anything that you guys want to see on my channel, make sure to leave a comment down below because I respond and read every single comment. Hopefully you guys have an amazing day, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Peace.
Roll to the ships even though I shouldn't. AMDA next up, new wave, new pace, man, I'm proofs in the pudding. Flip that, hold the feds ain't looking. Jump in the lab with a beat, then build up a spliff, then get to the cook.